Hello, buddy. It's me again, Jack. And today, I don't know how long this video will be. 5, 6, 7 minutes. I asked you talking about a book that I really do like, and that's called. It's inverted. You can't really see it, but it's called. Let me see you and try to. Maybe on yours it's inverted. Hello, Summer, Goodbye, by Michael Coney, a British author. It's a new science fiction novel. He also wrote Mirror Image and Winter's Children, which I have not read. He sadly passed away in 2005, I believe. But how I came to know this book is quite a complicated story. It's very long, but I won't tell you now. But I plan in the future, maybe, to do a little video on this book and how I came to know it. But all I can say right now is very long story and kind of complicated. Kind of you would not expect how I came to find out this book. You won't. But I won't be spoiling the book, at least not in this video, since I feel like you should go out and read it, since you can buy this book on Amazon. You can't buy the sequel. Oh my. I'll talk about the sequel later, at the end. But I love this book. This book, albeit very short, only let's see here, 201 pages. That's not a lot for an avid reader, and I'm not an avid reader. But for an avid reader, or just casual, that's not a lot of pages. Which, on one hand, does work with the themes in this book, because the story's kind of like rushed, not in a bad way, at least in some parts. But it's kind of like things are happening very fast, because times are changing extremely fast, which does work in its favor. But especially at the end, last 10 to 15 pages, you can feel it's kind of rushed. He kind of threw a bunch of ideas at you, like all at once. You're like, what the hell? So I'll knock off points off the end a little bit, just because it does feel a little bit rushed, and it gets its own story. But to give a synopsis, and this is one of the best. It's the author's note. One of the best synopsis of any story I've ever read. And this is from the author's note. So right here. Okay. Author's note. This is a love story and a war story and a science fiction. Oh, fuck! I bit my cheek. This is a love story and a war story and a science fiction story. And more besides. It takes place on an alien planet, and there are no humans in it. So I have made various assumptions for the sake of telling a good story. Because the planet is not unlike Earth in many ways, I have assumed my aliens to be humanoid, and being humanoid, to be subject to human emotion and fertilities. I have assumed their civilization to be at the stage of development approximate to our year 1875. Although, due to special natures of the planet, there are significant differences between their civilization and ours. I have made all these assumptions because the story is worth telling, and it couldn't have been told any other way and still remain a love story, and a war story, and a science fiction story, and more beside, which was what I wanted it to be. That should be enough to, at least I hope, to hook you in. This gives. I'm not literal analysis. I'm no English teacher, but I feel like this gives enough of what the story's supposed to be to hook you in. First, it tells you they're not human, and to be honest, the fact that they're not humans doesn't really bring it up in the story. like, you can think that humans throughout the story and nothing will really change. I guess the only thing that does change is the government system and how they name one another. But then again, people of different parts of the region of the earth have different government system and name each other differently. Like, some countries have monarchies, some have democracies, some have republics, dictatorships, what else? And they name each other differently. Doesn't really change the fact that human or not. I guess in the second book, which will go later, it has humans in it, but I'll talk about that later. And another part of the book, hopefully I can find it very quickly, which I also do really like. I really like this quote. Okay, so the main character, Drove, he's going to this vacation town, and it's like the first couple pages. This is on page 22, called Palahaxi. That's where the main of the story takes place in. His father is a pearl. It's like a noble of the government, of this person's government, which are at war with another government across the sea. But I won't get into all that detail. And they're going to Palahaxi, which is a sea town across the country. And they pick up these people, which kind of mutated from the sun, kind of like country folk. And, you know, nobility and these country folk, not going to the next square. So Drove, and this is told from the first person, so he has a lot of biases, which is very interesting in how he sees these people and talks about them. So, one of these country folk says to Drove, and I will say the whole paragraph, Grope, one of the country folks, squeezed my shoulder in his by-fingered grip as the motor car slowed down. He says, It's the meaning behind the story that counts, Drove boy. A story is told for a purpose, and the way that it is told has a purpose too. The truth or otherwise of the story is immaterial. Remember that. And I'll leave it there. So yes, I'm currently rereading it. I love this book. What it does well, it does very well. First person of this teenage boy, of this humanoid species, so about maybe 14, 16, around that. It's very stubborn, kind of an idiot, kind-hearted, selfish, smart, caring, a lot of emotions. And he spends his time in Palahaxi, and the two countries are at war. And war soon comes to Palahaxi. And that's like, it's so good. Okay, here's this part. You know, whatever that's called. I'll read that. I'm not trying to word it myself. I can't find English words for it. Drove's father is a member of the Elto Parliament, and when the family sets off for its annual holiday at the seaside town of Palahaxi, Drove is thinking of how to improve his acquaintance with Brown Eyes, the girl he met there last summer. But Elto is at war with a neighboring country, and soon Palahaxi is under siege conditions in which Drove and his friends are forced to side with the workers against his family and the establishment. As the political situation gradually worsens, the deadly cold, which has been overtaking the planet, claims in more and more victims. The incidental details of the alien planet on which the actions takes place, as always in Michael Conan's novels, especially good, The Ice Devils, for instance, which live at the bottom of a pool to trap anyone foolish enough to step into the water. The Groom, the weird tidal effect caused by the planet's orbit, and the Groom Riders, a delightful silky furry Lauren, and the delightful silky furred Lauren was like some sort of ape, I suppose, who befriends anyone caught in the intense cold. Absolute cinema. Amazing. One theme of the book before I end this video is the people of this world are extremely afraid of the cold. Like, it's in their blood, it's in their instinct that they are scared of the cold. And one thing the story does well is the way they speak. They speak different words. For example, the cuss words. Since they are so scared of the cold, they'll say, "You freezing monster." So, "You fucking monster, freeze off, fuck off." The word for hell, I believe, is a planet in the book, or moon. It's called Rax, which I only assume to be the word for hell. That's what I'm assuming. It doesn't tell you, of course. Now, the characters are done well. The writing is done extremely well in a short time period. The themes, the world building, it's kind of mysterious. It doesn't tell you a lot of things since it's told from the story of this book. It is told from the point of view of this boy who doesn't know everything, so you don't know everything. The only downside, I say, like I said, it feels rushed, especially at the end. And the story is supposed to be this cold is setting in, so things are progressing worse and worse and worse, which does work well with a short story. But at the end, a lot of things happen way too quickly. It just happens too quickly and it's not developed upon it. Which you can say it's good or you can say it's bad. I think it's bad. I think it goes against the story. And I believe, wholeheartedly, 10 more pages, at least add 10 more pages to kind of flesh it out. Maybe not all the way, kind of leave mysterious things here and there, but at least 10 more pages would help the story tenfold. And that cliffhanger, wow! What a cliffhanger. I was like, great. It is. I don't mean to overhype it, because you see a lot of media, like a lot of cartoons, anime, movies, books, whatnot is overhyped, and you don't want to watch it. You want to watch it after everybody has stopped talking about it, which I've seen a lot of people do. Now, for the sequel, which was published posthumously, so after the guy died, well, he published it. I think it's published posthumously, because, dear God, you cannot find this bloody book. I've looked everywhere. There was he downloaded it on something and had people read it for free. But I can't read things online. It hurts my eyes. I cannot read online books. I just can't. So for the love of me, I'm trying to find a physical copy, but it's very hard. I think you can borrow it from some sort of library for how long, and I just might end up doing it. I want to own it, but if I can, I'll just buy it. It's called I Remember Parahaxi. If you do manage to find it, please tell me. I really want to read it. I hear it's a very good book. Not as good as the first one, but still a very good book. It's still short. Maybe slightly longer, but still pretty short. So, that's about it. Hopefully I got you hooked on this book. And I'll be talking about more books from when I find some more books to read and show it to you. But, well, that's about it. May the Lord always be with you. Bye-bye.